Hey, 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 what's going on, good people? What is going on? I am Rochelle T. Parks. I am your health motivator. Hey, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Mindset Talks. You're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. I always say that. No, 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 for real, though. This is a real treat. First, let me make some introductions. First, I want to introduce to you the one and only Mr. Michael L. Parks, aka Pops. Boom, 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 right there. And now listen, the star of today's show, the star of today's episode of Mindset Talks is Miss Lyrica Jones. What's going on? Oh, aka Jill Scott.
Hello, Coach Pops. How are y'all?
Oh man, just excited. That we're here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that we made it this far. It was a long time coming. But we are here, and we are so excited for you, Lyrica. Let me start by I guess just letting everybody know, like who is Miss Lyrica Jones? Who are you, Lyrica? Where who are you? What do you do? How did we meet? Just let the people know.
Okay, so Lyrica Jones. I'm in Texas, actually West Texas, Lubbock. I'm originally from Houston, but I've been here many moves. And how I came to find Coach Rowe and Pops was it was divine. And last, I guess, November, I went and saw, I wasn't feeling well most of November, and ended up sharing that with my very best friend who had just been referred to Coach Rowe. So in the same while my best friend was scheduling her consultation, I was seeing my doctor about, something was wrong. You know how you just know something is wrong. But during that period, I had a lot of stomach stuff. I was vomiting. I had a lot of diarrhea, and I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I had this headache, and I go in to see my primary care provider, and the nurse takes my blood pressure in one arm, another arm. She moves me to another room and tells me she's going to turn off the light. And I'm like, what is going on? And finally I asked her what's going on? And she said, your blood pressure is extremely high. Well, here's the funny thing is, I had been taking blood pressure medication, and I want to show you guys this. So I was on this one, and had been on this one for about 5 years. So she gets me to the back, and again, she's like, it's really high. So then she lays me down in the room, turns off the lights, say, I'll come back in 5 minutes and we're going to recheck your blood pressure. And I'm like, all right. So she comes back. This time she comes with my healthcare provider. Both of them are standing there, and she said, Lyrica, what is going on? And I'm like, nothing. Like, felt like that hadn't changed. I felt like something doesn't feel right, but never realized it had anything to do with my blood pressure. And I finally said, I was like, tell me what's going on. And she said, your blood pressure is extremely high. I don't think I can let you go. I think we may have to call someone. And I said, what do you mean? And at that day, I think my blood pressure was 220/230 over 140. It was extremely high.
Wow.
Well, I think what made it worse for them is, other than me having that stuff, I didn't feel like, it was like, and she said, how long have you been feeling off? And I just told her, I said, about a week. That's when I finally thought, I said, but I thought it was some gluten or intestinal stuff. Never thought it was blood pressure.
Right.
I did not have a headache. That was the other scary thing. I didn't have any of those symptoms that were associated with high blood pressure. So an hour later, y'all, I'm still in this room. I'm looking at my watch like, y'all, I cannot sit, like, I have to go. And she's like, I don't think we can let you go. And she sat me down. She got really close to me, and she said, these are stroke levels. You're going to have a stroke. And I thought, I can't. So then I'm crying, and I'm like, I'm in my 40s. Like, I cannot have a stroke. I have an 8-year-old son. And I thought, okay. And I said, what's the plan? And she was like, well, we're going to add some medications. Okay. That's where this handy dandy thing comes in, and this. So on top of this first one, she's sending me home now with 3. She's telling me you're going to take 3 in the morning and 2 at night. And I'm like, okay, what, fine, just let me go home. I was just more concerned about that. So I get in the car, and that's when I call my very best friend, Loa Johnson. And as I'm telling her what had transpired, she said, Lyrica, I just got off my consultation with Coach Rochelle. She said, I know this sounds crazy, but I think you need to meet with them. And I thought, what does that have to do with my high blood pressure? Like, and I was like, okay, but I trust my friend. And so I was like, okay, I'm open to that. And then next thing I knew, she sent me the link. I watched a video of a gentleman who had reversed some of his illnesses, and that's what really did it. Mm-hmm. And I thought, if this gentleman, but then I thought, I was even biased then. I was like, he's a man. Men can lose weight easily. This is my body. This is the way I've always looked. These are the issues I've always had. It's probably not going to work for me. But something said, fill out that consultation. And I did. And it wasn't until that I sat with you guys that I was like, wow, so I can probably get off of some of this medication. And I remember when I talked to you and Pops for the very first time, I know I probably came across extremely negative, but it was just my experience. And my experience with weight loss and health didn't come from a healthy place because I really didn't know what to do. Right. And at that time in November, I was afraid. I really was afraid I'm going to have a stroke. And again, I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So I thought, if changing some eating may help, okay, sign me up for it, because I need to be around. Mm-hmm. And that really got started, how I got started with you guys. And I think what did it was when Pops talked about the accountability. And I thought, first I was like, that's a lot. It's something he said. And he said, and Pops, you were so kind about it, but you were like trying to undo the years of what one has done to one's body is going to take time. And so I remember telling you guys, hold on, let me talk to my husband, and then I'll get back with you. From there, talked to my husband, but I talked to another member who was currently Miss Barbara Sanders, who I adore, was in the program as well. We're all in business together. And I was sharing it with Miss Barbara, and Miss Barbara was really cold-blooded. She was the one cold-blooded. She said, okay, so your husband gonna pay for a funeral then? And I was like, oh, sweet Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara said that? Barbara. I love you, Miss Barbara. She sure did. And it was one of those moments where I was like, seriously, I received it though, because I thought, sister, if you don't do something, she is not wrong. This is going to be the end of you. And so then I went back to my husband and I was like, look here. I don't think because at first he was like, yeah, do the program, but maybe 4 weeks. And I thought, no. I said, I'm going to at least, I need to do the 12 weeks. And that's when I knew. I reached out to you guys and said, yes, but the accountability is what really, I just needed you guys to be there, to walk with me, to tell me what to do, how to do it, and kind of when to do it. Yeah. That's what I needed at that time. And that's what you guys were, that's what you've done for me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Shoot, this show is over.
And that's been your Mindset Talks. Thank you for joining us.
Wow. I don't think I knew all of that. I knew some of it, but I don't think I knew all of that. That is amazing. Wow. Oh, I don't. Pops, you start, man. I'm trying to get my thoughts.
I didn't know about Mom Barbara. I didn't know. I didn't know
she. Wow. Come through, Miss Barbara.
Miss Barbara, sweet Miss Barbara.
Did she have a cigar when she said?
You know, Miss Barbara doesn't play.
Oh, yeah, she came straight off the top rope. Oh, man.
So basically, she strong-armed you. She
did. No, you know what? No, she just helped me see the realness of it.
The real, yeah.
The realness of
it was serious. It was serious.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad. I'm encouraged. I need to speak about this, Miss Lurk. I thank you. I'm encouraged because all the other people think I'm the bad cop. You said that I was nice.
You were kind. You were.
I was kind. So I'm not the bad cop.
No.
See?
Well, you were nice at that time.
Yes,
I'll qualify that. You were nice at that
I like
time.
that. Yes.
So this is good because so when you started well, you had one blood pressure medication, right? It was for blood pressure before. And
Correct.
You left out of there with 2 additional. So now when you started with us, you were taking 3.
3.
Right.
3.
Okay. And
3
then
in the morning, 2 at night.
3 in the morning, 2 at night. And then I remember, I forget where we were in the program, but when you decided to what was it? Take the night away or the one in the morning away? Or
yes, and I don't know. I don't want to jump ahead, but coaches, can I show y'all this?
Yeah.
So on top of when I started seeing Coach Rowe and Pops, after I had that consultation, they gave me hope that I can back off some medication. Mm-hmm. Well, you two were just thinking that it was these. Mm-hmm. Okay. What you guys didn't also realize is I have chronic pain. So I had these. I'm taking gabapentin. I'm taking a pain medication and a muscle relaxer. I have been on these guys for about 6 or 7 years. So you guys didn't even realize the host of what y'all were getting when you got me on top of. And I'm only doing this because I want those watching this to understand the realness of this. On top of, and this is me being really raw, me taking antidepressant and an anti-anxiety. So that's everything that I was taking.
Yeah, did you say was?
Did you hear that word? Did she say was? Did she say
did. That's right. I sure did say was taking. I sure did say that.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Well, okay. Talk.
Oh, wait. Say that one more time. Say that one more
time. I was taking.
So listen, this is your show. I need you to talk to us, talk to the people. Like how real was that accountability for you? How real was that?
It probably so, and that's tricky because I have that personality of I'm pretty strong. You know, people think I'm very in control. They think they're in control. You're strong. You're superwoman. You can do it all. I know, had the same attitude. But when I got real, I realized when it came to my health, I wasn't any of those things. And I had to be honest because to get what you were saying, and part of it was a challenge to you, Coach Rowe, because you said, I've heard all of that before. I love hearing this. I know what your body can do. I know what happens if you follow these things I tell you. So part of me, the attitude was like, I'm going to show her. You know, part of it is like, I'm going to show her that I know what this body can do, and this body cannot do any of that. And look at what happened. So you told me what to do. You guys told me how to do it, when to do it, and then what happens when you do it. So that was it pretty much. Some of it was the challenge, but without the accountability, I don't think I would have saw and had the results. You need the accountability, and the accountability made it easy for me because I didn't have to think. Yeah. I knew what time I needed to eat. I knew what to eat. I knew what to do before eating. I knew what to do after eating. Mm-hmm. And so when you are in this world, this thing called life, when you, I have a business, I have a husband, I have a son, I'm running a house. Help a sister out. Tell me exactly what to do. So take that away from me. And you guys in this program did that. I mean, you're like, and I remember a few times, because, you know, guys, when you first get started in anything, when you're learning something new, you make mistakes. And Coach and Pops would be like, go back and read. y'all, I got to tell y'all this. One time I took a photo of my meal. Why Coach go send me a message back to my, are those canned green beans? Yo, how they know they were canned green beans? Like, I mean, just things like that. Like, who knew that? I mean, but I was like, but learning, like, I'm like, oh. And then she was like, read the back of the label. So y'all, I pulled read the back of the label of the green beans, a person who's already struggling with hypertension. And I'm like, oh, wow, didn't even realize that. And I think I'm good and grown, and I didn't even know to read labels, just things like that. So having you guys coaching and walking me through that, I have just learned so much about food and myself, and even making those choices. So I just had to share that.
I'm so excited. This is a different Lyrica right here. I'm beaming. I'm like, look at you, just vibrant and full of energy, because I remember the first time we talked and you were skeptical, and because like the person said, I've tried everything. I've tried everything. I mean, we've heard that a million times. Oh, I've tried everything. Or I mean, everything you said, oh, okay, it worked for them, but it's not going to work for me. That's them. Or as a matter of fact, just 2 days ago, I was having a consultation. No, I didn't meet with the person. I said, you know what? I said, I want to send you some videos before we meet. Will you have this? She said, okay, it was a female. And I sent her Pops' video and Nat's video. And then I thought, she's probably going to think, oh, that's men. What about women? And so I said, well, you know what? Just in case you're thinking this only works for men, here's a video for the woman too, because that's just what we think. This only, that's a man, that's whatever. And so, but you are definitely full of energy. You're smiling. So I have this thing, my business, right? I say, when you know better, you do better, right? That's right. When you do better, you feel better. And then that's all I had at first. And then Pop said, he said, Ro, you got one more. He said, when you feel better, you live better.
Oh, that's good, Pops. Yes, I like that. That's true. That's
true. What I mean? So it ain't just so it's not just feel better, but when you feel better, you just live better. I mean, everything is just better.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I see it, it's written all over your face. I see it, girl. You're looking good.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll take that.
Yeah. So okay, let's go back. Accountability. When did you have your aha moment? Like, okay, this thing is working. I think this is working.
Oh God, of course you would ask me this. Y'all, I apologize in advance for what I'm gonna say. Whew.
Come on through.
It was the thing that I despised the most. I'm gonna be honest. When we decided to do Raw, and here is why. Because I had an expectation that listening to what other people were doing, other people were off of their medications very quickly. So my first month, I'm still taking medication, especially for my high blood pressure. And Coach Ro, you guys know the first week of every month, she likes to do this Raw thing. Well, I was not privy to that, nor that I ever want to be a part of that. So my blood pressure still was consistently, and I was honest. I mean, when they ask for the accountability, when they ask for the blood pressure and blood sugar, you send that stuff into them, and you need to, it's important. And so Coach was like, Lyrica, this blood pressure is not, it was better. Don't get me wrong, guys. It was better, but she wanted to see something else. And so Coach said, it was on a Wednesday, or I guess Tuesday night. She was like, for the rest of this week, I want you to do Raw. Yes, I was counting them days down because I was rolling my eyes. I was like, no, she did say do Raw. I am not doing Raw. I did not sign up for that. But I am, y'all, I'm compliant. I'm going to do what my coaches tell me to do. So I was like, okay. So I was like, she said, I think it'll finish up like Friday. She just said the rest of this week. That was the thing. So I was like, okay, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll do Raw. After doing that, well, at the end of Friday comes Saturday morning, well, y'all, Miss Lyrica, who can be real literal, was like, she told me to do it just until the end of that week. So I was done. Here's what we noticed. My blood pressure, when I did Raw those 3 days, it went down. So Saturday and Sunday, I'm back to cook. I didn't put myself back on Cook Foods. I was strategic about it. Didn't talk to Coach or Pops because I didn't want their opinion. Here's what your body will do. It responds. So like Monday, Coach was like, hey, your blood pressure went back up. I wonder why. I was like, oops. Isn't that crazy that in just a matter of days, how it dropped? And as soon as I introduced cooked food, it went back up. Well, coach was like, Lyrica, it looks like your body, your blood pressure is really responding. Let's try another week of this raw. And I was like, the one things I did not want to hear was raw. And so we went back. And honestly, Coach Rowe, I think it was probably midpoint. We had that weird scare that it had went elevated, and you were like, it's okay. Now, here's what I knew was special about Coach Rowe and Pops is during that time, my blood pressure did something weird. My body did something weird. It spiked for a couple of days. They sent me the sweetest message and told me how much they were praying for me. And that's when I knew, outside of this, I was like, these are my people. All that to say, a couple of days later, it went back. And then it was pretty consistent. And that's when I think I had the aha moment. As much as I hated raw, and guys, I did raw for a very long time. Coach Rowe had told me about another one of her clients who she said most of his program was raw. And y'all, I must say most of my program was raw. Here's what was interesting. I never thought I could do that. I never thought that's the type of diet I could have. And I ended up doing it, I think 6 weeks, like I feel like half the program, tail end, at least 5 weeks I did raw. It was not exciting. It was not fun, but to see what my blood pressure was doing was worth it. Because by then, this is gone. All of the pain stuff, y'all. I've been on pain meds and back meds for years. All of that's gone. The antidepressant, anti-anxiety, that's gone. That's 5 meds already gone. And then we started to lessen this. That's when I was like, all right, they may know a little something. They may have some experience in this area. That was the moment. Really, that's when I was like, who would have thought food, like, we don't think that food has that type of effect on us. Like I didn't. I thought food is just heavy weight. I did not recognize with all of my chronic pain, my inflammation, my antidepressant. I just didn't realize how food played a part in all of that. And I don't think most people do. But that's when the moment hit, is during that raw stage.
Yeah, I say, I coined this phrase. I said, how we feel every day has everything to do with what we put inside of our bodies and what we expose our bodies to. And not just how we feel physically, but I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like our whole countenance, like like food. And people don't, that's why people, I get text messages and private messages and whatever, phone calls and emails and this hurts or this, or what do you think? I'm like, what are you eating? They're like, no, I'm talking about my shoulder. I'm like, yeah, what are you eating? No, my toe hurts. What are you eating? I mean, they're like, what is that? What is that doing? I got a headache. What are you eating? I mean, and they just don't understand. And I'm like, I'm telling you, it goes back to your food. And they're like, that sounds crazy. I remember I always tell this story, this one guy, and I think Pops know what I'm about to talk about. I was having a consultation with this guy, because I tell the story all the time because it was just so funny. He was just in disbelief, and he was telling me, he said, I'm having some problems with my knees. My knees are shot, whatever, and I just can't run like I used to be in shape, but I just can't, my knees, whatever. And I'm thinking, because he said it with such confidence, I'm thinking maybe it was a car accident, or old football injury. I said, oh, okay, car accident, but he said, oh, no. I said, basketball. He said, no. I said, oh, okay, well, maybe he's old. I said, well, a little older. No. I said, well, what is it? He said, oh, just wear and tear. I was like, oh no, that ain't it. I said, I said, how old are you? I said, maybe he's gonna be like 70, 60. He said it was like 51. I said, man, I'm 50.
That's young. Yeah, that's young.
I said, no. I said, no, it's your food. He said, what? I said, it's your food. He said, you're trying to tell me I've been hurting all this time. You trying to tell me this? He said, you trying to tell me this? What? I'm hurting because of what I eat. I said, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
Ooh, yes.
Was that the attorney? Was that the attorney?
Yeah, it was an attorney. He said, you're trying to tell me that I'm feeling the way I feel because of the food that I eat? I said, that's exactly what I'm telling you. Look, we never had the conversation after that. That was the last conversation he had with me. He didn't believe it. He probably thought I was off my rocker. I mean, you know what I mean? He was like, "You didn't bump your head." I'm a professional. I have a degree. I'm like, I'm just saying, you hurting. I'm not. I'm telling you, it hurting. You see, I'm like, I'm telling you,
it's food. I mean, it's food. Like that's the only. I mean, pretty much changing what I was eating and walking is all. And it wasn't anything crazy. Like I mean, I must admit, I wasn't eating anything crazy. It was just the things that we took away. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So if I don't eat sugar, I don't have inflammation. Who would have thought? I mean, who would have thought? No starches, no carbs. Guess what? No inflammation, no pain. Like it is. I know it sounds probably crazy, but let me tell you, Coach said it too. I was skeptical. So if the skeptic here is saying like it just happens.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah. And we tell people, so like, somebody on the program, because they going there in week 2. And so they said, can we have oatmeal? I said, did you read it? Did you read it? So I didn't see it on the list.
Precisely.
And so I tell people, so carbs in and of themselves are not bad, but most of us abuse them.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. Most of us are sugar addicts. We're addicted to sugar. So I don't want anybody to think my whole life I can never eat a carb. That's not what we're saying. But most people, if they're honest, they abuse the carbs, just like we say the vegetarians, they're not vegetarians, they're carbitarians, and they wonder why they're still overweight. They still have a high cholesterol, high blood pressure, because, they haven't changed. They've changed. They're more concerned with not eating meat than they are with eating more vegetables. So
I will tell the listeners too that if you're having those cravings, because I was addicted to sugar, it will surpass. It will. Yeah. You will get to a point to where you don't think about it. It really does happen. Yeah. And I was afraid that I would be hungry. Because I was thinking 10 to 6, I'm going to be hungry. That is not going to work. But the funny thing is there are days where I would send a meal because that's all. And then I'm trying to I better eat something. But honestly, and Coach corrected me on that. She said, remember, your body is going to tell you what it's needing. And she said, but were you hungry? And I was like, well, no. What are you doing? I don't know. I think I need to send you multiple meals because you have moments where that one meal that you've had is really satisfying you. And so if that is the case, I tell you to go with that. Don't be trying to make yourself eat out of, because we've been programmed to think that's what we have to do. But my body will naturally, even now it is, I've had my lunch. I had a wonderful lunch today.
Yeah.
But it's, 5:41 my time and I am fine. It just happens that way. So
yeah, it's amazing. It happens like that for everybody. Everybody comes in, they're scared. That window is shutting down. They start trying to store up like chipmunks,
Absolutely,
store up later. Yes. I'm like, listen, it's gonna be okay. But you know what I say? I think the worst thing for people is nobody wants to feel hungry though. That is the worst. They said, well, what if I get hungry? I'm like,
drink some water.
Drink some water.
Lemon. With lemon.
You're not gonna die.
With lemon or lime.
That is the worst thing though. Yes. That's mind-boggling. That's like across the board. People what happens? What if I get hungry later? I'm like, what you think is gonna happen? Like you're gonna shrivel up and die? You're gonna, turn into a pumpkin? Like you're gonna be okay.
You won't. Yes, you will. You'll be just fine. You will.
I have to add the caveat to it because she was like, Rochelle used to always say, if you don't eat, you're not gonna die. and then somebody will die and they try to sue us. So I said, if you die, it won't be because you didn't eat.
Yeah, right.
That's right. That's right. Huh?
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So I just thought of another question. Because this thing was I know it's it can be a little daunting, it's repetitive, it's the same thing every day. And people are like, is this it? I'm like, yeah, this is it, because it's small, but it's big. You know what I mean? Like it's small, like what you're doing is not a lot. It's like people ask me, they think they have to be chefs, like what type of diet? I'm like, ain't no diet, we're just eating God's food. There's no special, it's really just eating God's food. And so like what were you thinking when you, like, I know you knew, Aloha and Miss Barbara, whatever, but for Lyrica, what were you thinking along this process? Like I'm about to get in your house. Like, were you talking to your husband? Like, I don't know what is going on. Like this, I don't know if it's working. Like what's going on? I don't know.
So no, I didn't do that. So before I started the program, I went to prayer. And so my biggest fear was really in self, like, can I really do this?
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to go to the Father to say, like, if ever a time that I needed the muscle of discipline, like we're gonna work that muscle of discipline. And so even the days that I felt like I just leaned into the Father to say, this is discipline.
Yeah.
And through it though, I just knew what you guys told me to do. So I knew if nothing else, I was gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's how I just proceeded with it. And it didn't get, for me, it was, I wouldn't say daunting. It just made it easier for me because I didn't have to think about it.
Okay.
I think that's what was nice is that I didn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
What got challenging, the only thing that got challenging, and not in a respect, it was just variety, was I still am not. So from day one to even today, I have not had fruit. And it works for me. I don't miss it. I don't think about it. So fruit was never it. So when I did raw, I think the only time it got little was like, I'm like, I am so over spinach, butter lettuce, chopped. Like that's the only thing that, and then it was for me, I was like, girl, you got to hop on Pinterest and get, just creative with what you can do with the raw. That was the only time it got kind of, I'm like, I will not, I'm like iceberg lettuce over it, spinach over it. And then sure enough, chopped now, because chopped is my thing. That's the only time it probably got to where I was like, oh Lord, I'm not motivated to eat. Like, I don't want another salad. I don't want any more carrots. I don't want another cucumber. That's the only, but even still my body, I was leaning into what my body was saying. So I wasn't forcing that either during that time. If my body said, feed me, it's hungry, I went and fed it. If it didn't, I'm like, I'm good. I'm okay not having these carrots. I just moved on. So it was never, I guess to answer that, nothing was ever daunting when I got in it. At the beginning, I just had a fear of, can I really do this? I don't want to let myself down. I don't want to let my husband, he's like, this was a sacrifice. I want to be sure you're doing it. So it was more of just that personal, like, can you do this? And the amazing thing is, I did it.
You did it.
That does something for you when you're like, I, the person who thought she had an addiction to sugar, I did this. I did this. Like that was like, that has been I'm still floating on. Like I did this. Thank you, Lord. You carried me through this. And if I can do this, I can do other things as well.
Watch out now.
Yes.
Watch out. That's it.
Yeah.
You brought up your husband. I'm curious. Like I know you've had a transformation. You had an internal transformation. You had a physical transformation. You had emotional transformation, spiritual transformation. What has your husband noticed about you, and what does he think about the new and improved Lyrica?
So my husband is the typical man, and I say that not to bash men, but men are very visual beings. So my husband's perspective, he's been very pleased coming from a visual perspective. I'm like, but for real, let me shower by myself. Like it's just crazy. crazy. So that's helped. But no, he has been so here's what the funny thing is, like, my husband jumped on board instantly, because he was like, whatever you're making for you, we're just going to make for the house. And so that made it really easy at the beginning, because he knew exactly like what I can eat. And then so I just did that across the board in the house, and I still do that. Now he eats fruit, and it's his liberty. He can do whatever he feels like doing, because this was for me. But what did help is that he got on board with it. So I didn't have to make separate things. And also, when he helps out around the house preparing meals, he already knew what we can and can't. And so then I took away, as I was grocery shopping, I would took away, like, we don't buy canned things, we only buy frozen things, to make it even easier. So for him, this was just a natural, oh, this is what we're doing now. Okay. Now my husband likes or loves working out. I didn't. So the one thing I did love about this program is you didn't put any pressure on anything other than walking. Because remember, coming from chronic pain, walking and working out is not fun for me. But I knew I can walk. I can at least walk. And so that made it really great. Now he is like, I'm going to work out 3 times a day. And I'm like, knock yourself out. I'm walking twice a day. 45 minutes, and so, but it has been great. My son is really funny, because there was some time I did sneak, because you sneak and you cheat. So I did. And I think I had like a piece of dark chocolate or something. I did. I know, Pops. I know. I cheated. Y'all, it wasn't even my husband. It was my son talking about, I need to talk to your coach. He is 8.5 years old. 8 years old, talking about, he gonna need to talk to my coach, because I had a piece of dark chocolate. And I was like, this kid. But really, Pops, to answer that is that he was really supportive, and he's pleased. And I think it shocked him too that I did this. Like, his wife, who he thinks like, in the past, and I have a history. In the past, I would sneak food. I was addicted to sugar. So late at night, I would be sneaking stuff. I mean, I had a problem. I'm baking stuff all the time because I'm good at baking and I want to eat all that stuff. And so I think it was just like, I think he was a little bit side-eyeing it. And then he finally hit that point of like, oh, she doing this. Like, she is really doing this.
And now, how does it feel though to be medication free?
Oh, can I put it into words? It feels like a new person, I guess. I was trying to think back to an age of when I felt like this. So it takes me back to like probably my late 20s is when I was probably my, your most healthiest self. It's probably how I feel, this body feels, is how I felt when I was in my late 20s. Because my early 30s is when I got diagnosed with chronic pain, and they thought it was all of this other stuff. And so I had been living with that for like almost the last, 14 years. So the body, I feel different, youthful, if I even may say. It's nice to be in a body that doesn't hurt.
Come on, say that.
That's a quote, right? That's a t-shirt right there.
That's it right there.
So that's the best way I can get up out of my chair and get out of this chair and not hurt. I can go outside and kick the soccer ball a little bit, with my son, and like I can race him, and I can hop on my bike and go for a bike ride. And when we go to the park and walk them 3 miles, and not even while he's at soccer practice, I'm walking the whole time and not even thinking twice about it. Like that feels good. That feels good.
That sounds good.
That feels good.
Wow. Yes.
It's a great feeling.
Let me tell you, I always try to give it from the kid's perspective, because I was that kid. I know that has to make your son happy. I mean, to see his nobody wants to see their parents in pain. And as much as you may have tried to disguise or whatever, kids know. They are very perceptive. I mean, they know when their parents aren't feeling well. They just like they know when we got attitude. They know. They observe, right? And so to see you thriving That has to do his heart good. It has to.
Mhm.
Because the reality is he's thinking my mom's gonna be around a while. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Because when you the flip side of that is to see you take medication all the time or in pain, no energy, like
Tired, yes.
you're tired. That's not good. They don't love you any less, but it's like, man, my mom can't do this, she can't do that, she's in pain. Like what's next? You know? And so I know he's excited about it.
Mhm,
And that's what
he
you
is.
have to do. Just think, okay, she looking good. She
Yeah,
feeling
right.
good. Yes, that's a blessing. Oh man, this
Yes.
is awesome, Lyric. Oh, so what did because I'm sure you were talking to the Lord the whole time. What did the Lord say?
Of course. It was so nice to have, and I know this is probably most people can't do this with someone else. It's a a personal journey, but I'm so blessed because I did have my best friend going through this. So we could even I'd be like, send me pictures. What did you make? Oh, mine make it look better, or so just having someone to be able to talk through, because my husband wasn't doing this with me.
Right.
So to be able to talk, and then Miss Barbara, talking to Miss Barbara, and I'm laughing, calling them Barbara Bowls, and just like that was nice to be able to say, oh, I did this. And Miss Barbara would call me some morning saying, let me tell you about the bowl I make. Or Loa will be like, oh, I found this type of sausage. And I'm like, girl, I can't eat sausage. But just stuff like that. But because also they knew, because they were in this with you. And so
Right.
It was nice having people that you can talk and bounce ideas off with. Or I'm like, Lo, what is this? And she's like, ooh, girl, who you think gonna text back? Pops or Coach Rowe? Pops. You all I already know Pops gonna say something about this. So that's what was nice. And so it took I remember her once, Lo, I'm telling on you. I remember once a woman was telling me something she had. I was like, you had, I think she said Chipotle. I said, you had Chipotle? She said, I can have lunch from Chipotle. And I was like, no, you can't. And she was like, yes, I can. I don't have the issues you have. And I was like, so you mean you ordering food? I'm like, what is that like? Like that. Like, wow. And then I did it. I tried it. Well, and guess what happened with my blood pressure? It went up. So really it's learned, and everything is about you. I do like that you guys customize it and make it personalized to us, because my girlfriend, my best friend, she doesn't have blood pressure issue. She was able to eat that Chipotle and it did not affect her. Me, who's very sensitive to sodium, I ordered it and instantly it went up. And I'm like, oh, I remember Coach was like, what'd you eat? Roasted bell peppers, guacamole. And I was like, but then I learned, I was like, something that they're doing, not to bash Chipotle by any means, but I'm like, whatever they're using doesn't work for this body.
That's
so
right.
I can't do that because it doesn't work for this body.
That's right. And so, that's the thing. We tell people it is personalized, because what one person can do, another person can't, so right. It's not one shoe fits all,
That's
know.
Right. That's right.
So that's good. That's good. Oh, but that was funny. Said who you think gonna call first? That's funny.
Pops. We already know Pops.
What was it? It was one time. Was that you or was that a Laura when did I call you? I sent you a voice memo. What was it?
To my sis.
Yeah.
I'd got some sisses. Them voicemails. Yes.
No, that's when she went off raw on her own.
Oh yes. Yes.
That's right.
She checked me to my well, who told you to stop doing raw? I was like, me? But you know what? I count that all love. When you getting them personalized voicemails, voice messages, or Pops sending you, because Pops will send you some question marks in a heartbeat, count it all love. And I did, and I would be just over here laughing. I'd just be laughing. You have to count it. You count it all love, because I knew instantly, you guys. And I think that's what makes this special, is because I knew you guys were showing me that you really cared about me.
Amen.
Not at any point, guys, did I ever feel like this was a job to Pops or Coach Rowe. It is personal. Like, you feel like they know you. Now, some of us, Aloha would joke, she's like, they don't know me like they know you because I'm compliant. And I'm like, like, you always got them calling you, and it wasn't that. But it just it makes you feel special because you're like, these people really do care about me. Like, and they noticing it. They're noticing if these blood sugars are out of norm. They're noticing if these blood pressures are elevated. You think they don't. Oh, but they do. and I will tell y'all this, your body tells on you. Mm-hmm. Your body will tell on you. And I was like, what? Your body will get. So you better do right, because if not, your body gonna tell it.
Okay, we say the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
Tell it, yes.
You be like, okay, I'll be like, okay, what is it? What did you tell me? No, I didn't. Okay, tell me again. What exactly?
What else did you eat?
What else did you eat? You know
what else?
Yeah, I saw the picture. Yeah, I ain't talking about the picture.
Yeah, what else?
What else?
How did you eat those onions? Like, how did you dip them in some batter? Like,
I ate vegetables.
Yes, I did.
Man, I'm telling you, we've heard some stories now. You gotta,
y'all have.
We got to peel back the onion. We got to go deep with the questions, boy. So you do, because people they'll tell you just enough, you know. Oh man, it's been some funny times, boy. And they be like,
I'm sure.
It's all good. It's all good though. This has been great. And you know what? So because we have some people now that are going through the program and their blood pressure's been a little stubborn. Mm-hmm. They so everybody now goes through. Well, you went through the 7 days of raw. Mm-hmm. Right. And then you come off the second week and you do it. And so same thing, blood pressure elevated. So we say, okay, we got to go back. We got to go back in, you know, and that's just what it is, because the body responds to that. The body responds to it. And people say, well, how long? Well, I don't know. I don't have the crystal ball. You know, I don't know, you know, but I know it's worth it. And the body will break. The body will.
It does. I plan on incorporating, and I never thought, oh God, y'all, but I will incorporate. So raw will be I will eat a raw meal a day. I have decided, because it seems like my body responded well to that. So whether it's meal 1, meal 2, if I can squeeze in meal 3, most times I can't, but one of those meals I have decided will always be raw.
Be raw. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is great, Lyrica. Mm-hmm. That is awesome. I am so excited for you to be medication free. I just remember the first consultation, because I think we met and then you didn't start right away. I think you delayed it.
I had to talk to my husband and then, get that gut check and then come back to you guys and say, yes, I know what I want to do.
Yeah. A gut check or a gut shot?
Gut, he sure did give me a gut shot.
Yeah. So it's just, man, God is so good. And we just know people try to back us in the corner and say, because our famous line, we said, we're not doctors and we don't play them on TV. Okay. That's not what we do. As Pops would say, we had an experience. You know, Pops had a personal experience. I had, a Stand By Your Man experience, you know what I mean? And I'm there. And so we came out on the other side and just decided to share this with the rest of the world, what we did. And so this is what I know to be true. And long before Sugar Ain't Sweet, I've always said, when you give your body what it needs to thrive, it will. I mean, when you think back to what we did in Bod for God, the biblical weight loss class at our church, even in that even though it was a weight loss program, I told my people, we're not focusing on weight loss. We focus on getting healthy, and allow weight loss to be a byproduct of that. So it's just like everything that we've done in the past, it really is just in line with this. Mm-hmm. Like the 3 principles, that was in Treasures of Healthy Living. That was in the class that I taught at my church. But it's perfect. You know what I mean? So that's how I know God has had his hand through this whole thing. Because these are not like separate. These are all the same. It's all the same. It's just that we had this this thing, these windows and focusing on these blood sugars. Like we learned that when you control your blood sugars, you control your life, and so it's just amazing. This is what we hang our hat on. We say, you know what? I just know when you give your body what it needs to thrive. What people say, what's about this disease and that? I said, listen, I don't know anything about that. I said, this is what I do know. When you give your body what it needs to thrive, it will. That's it. That's it. I'm going with God. God is the undisputed, undefeated champion. Okay.
Amen.
He ain't lost the battle. That's what I'm hanging my hat on, and that's it. Don't get me to say nothing. People, well, what about, are you saying, I'll tell you what I'm saying. When you give your body what it needs to thrive, it will. And that's as far as I need to go.
It will.
So people can interpret and take whatever they want to do with that. Because people want to be able to say, but you said, but you said, I'm like, no, I'm gonna tell you what I said. When you give your body what it needs to thrive, it will. And it's proven over. People are coming that are not diabetic, no high blood pressure, no cholesterol, not even overweight. They're coming with other issues, right? They're doing this program and they're getting results still the same. Whatever issue they were dealing with is clearing up.
Absolutely.
So that's God's food.
Yes, praise God. Praise God.
That's God's food. It says drugs don't heal the body. Drugs don't heal. Drugs treat symptoms. That's right. Food is the foundation to reverse, illness. Food is, and that ain't the world according to Rochelle T. Parks. That was discovered years ago. Where was Hippocrates around? How long ago was that?
Oh, long time ago. Long time ago.
He said that long time ago.
Time ago.
And it's still true today. Okay, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. It's still true today.
And it makes me think about what you just said about earlier when you was talking about people. Well, you didn't say this, but I'm thinking they looking for a loophole because they want to lock you into something.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So whenever you say something definitive, then they can use that and try to circumvent or whatever, just to try to make it what they want. But the other thing is with the food, people, they want to change everything but their diet.
Yeah.
It's like nobody wants to touch the food. They say, okay, I'm gonna work out 10 times a day, but I'm gonna continue to eat what I'm eating. When all you have to do is just change what you eat. When you're eating the right stuff, all you have to do is walk.
Yes.
People like tripping like over the rods and Tanishas and the Nats and all this. All they did is walk. Yes.
Just walk.
Just walk.
Just walk.
And because it's a little confusing because they see me and I see your YouTube channel, I see you doing all these hits, and they assume. And then, I'm prior military, all this stuff. And they assume that we're going to have them do all this crazy stuff. I'm like, just walk.
Just walk. I did. That was one. I was like,
I got a bad hip and I can't, I can't move so much. I'm like, it's okay. Just walk.
Just walk. And I was like, and I can do that. I can do that. So that made it even easier for me, especially if you have those people who don't love working out. I didn't. But I like walking, like I can do that. And now the weather in Texas is nice. So I will get my walk in when I'm at the workplace. If I'm downtown, I'll just get out and walk. If not, late in the evenings, I walk. If not, just because I can walk and I can walk anywhere. So I'm like, I got this. I can do that. That's what made it really easy for me is to just walk.
Just walk.
Just walk.
Man.
So you've been a motivation and inspiration to somebody. I'm sure somebody.
I hope so.
Somebody. Well, you're gonna be when they see this video. But one day, somebody gonna walk up to you and say, "What are you doing? You doing something? Tell me about it." It's gonna come. It's gonna come. I mean, I know you say your husband. He like a typical man. But I'm sure some other people that's typical.
Man.
That's good though. I'm excited.
Yes. Thank you.
I just feel like we've known each other for so long, but we really haven't. But it's just amazing. You my sister now.
Yes, of course. Y'all are my people.
Yeah.
Y'all are my
so
people.
You in Lubbock. How far is that from Houston?
I'm about 8 About 8 hours because I'm in the
Oh,
Panhandle. I'm really close to New Mexico.
okay, that's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Texas
I knew
Tech
that.
University. Yes, that's where
Yes,
I
that's right.
am. Mhm, mhm.
Okay, because I'm coming that way this weekend.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna be there Memorial Day.
Yeah,
Mhm,
this weekend.
So,
mhm.
what do you got? What do you tell the person that's on the fence right now?
That was about to be my next question.
See, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what they're on the fence about. I would challenge them to do something that they hadn't done before. I would also challenge them and kind of do like that gut punch that Miss Barbara had done to me. It sounded differently when someone is putting your own health in perspective and challenging you to see, do you feel like you're worth it? Do you feel like you're worth being pain free? Do you think that you're worth letting go of some of those medications? Because if you don't feel that you're worthy of it, there's not much we can do either.
Right.
And so really asking yourself those tough questions. Don't let, if that fence is about willpower, don't let that stop you because you'll talk yourself out of that. Challenge yourself and you can do it. Listen, people would always say this and I'd roll my eyes. If I can do it, the person who had an addiction to sugar, the person who did not like working out, the person who was in chronic pain, the person who had extreme high blood pressure, the person who has been on antidepressant for many years. If I could do it, I know you can. I know you can. You can. You can do it. You just have to ask yourself those tough questions. And guess what? Here's the most beautiful thing of all. You are worth it. You're worth it. You are worth it. And you're going to be so proud of yourself after you do it. So do it. Do it. Do it.
I'm ready to sign up.
I know, right?
You have to. And if finances are your hurdle, because in finances, they weren't a hurdle. It was like my husband, I was just more concerned with my husband. I was like, my husband is not going to be okay with this. Not because he didn't believe in you guys, but I was like, I don't think he thinks I can do it. All that to say, if you think finances are your roadblock or your stop with anything we find value in, we'll find a reason to do it. So I challenge you there. You find a reason to do it. It is worth it. That little X amount will always be less than a funeral. Period. It's less than. And also think about your family members. If you're a wife and a mother and you have little people depending on you or a husband, trust, sister, they cannot live without you. You are worth it. So you guys do it. You're worth it. You are worth it.
Wow. That's good stuff right there.
That's awesome. She said that little bit will always be less than a funeral.
Let me tell you.
Oh, to Miss Barbara. Okay. That's a tribute to Miss Barbara right there.
Thank you, Miss Barbara. Oh my goodness. Oh man. That is
See, Miss Barbara's the only one who could have said that. Because if we say something like that, we just trying to get your money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Barbara she had to be the one to say that.
And she did.
Yeah.
And she did.
Yeah. Because I tell Rochelle, like, honestly, I don't like being a bad cop. But I was telling Rochelle, and I think she concurs that, I'm coming from a different perspective. Because a lot of the stuff I've lived.
Absolutely. Yes.
So it's like I know that it's possible, and all the stuff that people saying is insignificant, irrelevant. Not that I don't care about what you're feeling or what you're thinking. It's just not relevant to this. So why entertain it? Let's focus on what's important.
Absolutely.
What's important, if you do A, B, and C, that's going to bring you home.
Absolutely.
So that's where it comes from. The appearance of bad copish.
Yeah.
Bad copism. But I love you guys. I care about you guys.
Take it as love. Take it if they weren't saying anything, that's when you be concerned.
That's right.
They're not saying anything.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're right about that. That's what the old folks used to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get worried when I stop talking.
So that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that is something. Now it's funny. We have everybody in the app, WhatsApp, whatever. And so, they're in little groups. And so somebody will post something. They'll be like, ooh, you know, Coach Robot, she gonna say something about that. Yeah. They're like, ooh, here she come, here she come. You know, she.
She is. She
So
is.
they police up each other, which is a good thing. You know, we used to do, you know, the one-on-ones, you know, in the text. We can't. We got too many people
Too
now.
much. And that's great. That means you're
That's a
growing.
great problem to
That's
have.
a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. It means you're growing.
Yeah. They're still getting
I'm really blessed then because guys, I'm really blessed because I got some one-on-ones with them.
You did. Yeah. We can't even do that anymore.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
But you know what? But
that.
the groups, they come with a different they have their own advantages. Like I said, they develop that camaraderie. You know, they become, like someone told me today outside the group, she says, already feeling like a family. And this is just her first week. This is just
good.
Oh, the second day. This is the second day. She just started yesterday. You know, because we have a new group start every Monday. So yeah, guys, if you're watching this, you see the little ticker scrolling down. You can do a consultation. And let's just talk about it wherever you are, whether if you're dealing with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, inflammation, sugar addiction, salt addiction, autoimmune disease. I mean, if you're just not feeling well, okay, just get on the calendar and let's talk about it. You know, I do a master class every Tuesday where we talk about reversing chronic illness every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can do that as well. It's a free master class where we're just talking about this very same thing, you know, how we go about reversing chronic illness, you know, and it's just been amazing. It's been amazing. Lyrica, you have blessed me, you know, today. I'm excited. I mean, this was more than I thought. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm talking total transformation.
Yes.
Like total. You know, mind, body, and spirit, you know. Yeah, I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful.
Amen. Yeah. We are too. And I'm a man of few words, so I'm speechless too, you know.
Shout out to Miss Barbara. Well, I guess first shout out to Rod and Tanisha. To Tanisha first, who took the plunge, and then Rod came on board, and then Miss Barbara reached out to them, and then, you know, and then from
the Newmans, I think the
Eric and
Miss
Mary, and then I mean, it's just been so many. Miss Barbara, dog it, God, dog it.
That new computer.
Yeah, where y'all go?
We here. We still
here.
We're here. Do the swipe up. Do the swipe up.
Jeez. Yeah, that new computer. That was a FaceTime that came in. But anyway, it's just when I see it's just a gift that keeps on giving, you know, and so we're excited we can keep this party going. That's and just keep helping people, you know, as long as God keeps, you know, blessing us with life and breath in this body, we'll continue to share.
Absolutely.
You know, so any last, well, Lyrica said, I don't even know how we can top what she said. Anything you have?
We can't talk.
Yeah.
Only thing left to do is for her to sing. That's it.
No. You do not want that. You do not want that.
Yeah, hey, listen, for who are watching, come on, don't she look like Jill Scott? When y'all see it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's Jill right there.
Yeah, that's Jill. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Jill Scott. I think just would come through, Jill Scott. Oh, this has been great. Thank you so much, Lyrica, for trusting us. Ain't laid eyes on us the first. Just by that, just do a Zoom call. But you trusted us, and we don't take that lightly. We really don't. I mean, I know you trusted your best friend too. I get that, but she was just getting started too. You know?
Absolutely.
She was just getting started too. So, but you all, I read a devotion yesterday. It was talking about taking the leap of faith, you know. with God, and it's worth it. And like you said, it is worth it. It's worth it. Now you're medication free, pain free, and medication free.
Yes, it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's
You can't
worth
put a
it.
price tag on that.
Yeah, I know we wrapping up, but we didn't even ask what the doctor say. What the doctor say?
So I haven't seen her yet. I'm gonna see her, I think, later this month. So I haven't seen her yet, but I can't wait to see her. But I mean, but also I'm like, but I know how I feel too. Like I care about her opinion, but
I'm talking about her amazement.
Oh yes. I'll see her later this month. I think toward the 20 something of this month, I'll get to see her.
Yeah, her face like this.
I know.
When she see that scale too, first she gonna be like, "What?
Oh wait a minute. Okay, we didn't even ask.
Oh yes, I know. I need. It's like the ladies always want to know that, and so remember, guys. I say this just to remind you. I got into this to get off my blood pressure med, not to lose weight, but I have shedded. I think 21 pounds have fallen off. 21 has fallen off. That's fallen off.
Yeah.
The whole conversation they said.
I didn't even think about it because we ain't on weight like that. We're not even on weight like that. And so, man, 21 pounds lighter. That's
nice. Yes, like you gotta buy new undergarments and things like that.
All right, y'all. All right. I say box of bloomers,
I'll take it. And so and then I even challenged myself for this month. I was like, now this month I'm like, okay, girl, you can minus 10 more. Here's what you need to do. Like you can do this. So
let's go.
Now that you know what to do, that's the thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because it's empowering. Like this whole process, you're learning. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you know exactly what to do to shed some pounds.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you are in control. When I tell people you control the scale, they're like, what? But you're like, oh no, I do control the scale.
I do.
Yeah.
The only thing you gotta do is what you've been doing.
Yes.
That's it. Just do what
you've been doing.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? And Rochelle was talking earlier about what people like the difficulty. And I know we say this a lot on different mediums or what have you, but it's very, very it's easy, or I say easier to do something big over a short period of time. But when you try to do something small over an extended long period of time, indefinite period of time, that's difficult because it becomes mentally taxing because it's like, is this ever going to end? It's not, this is hard. It's just, is this ever going to end? It's almost
I would challenge people not to think that way. Don't think into, when you start thinking that far out, it does get taxing, like you said. So bring it in. If you have to, just focus on what you're going to do this week. Focus on what you're going to do in 2 weeks. Then focus on what you're going to do in 4 weeks. If 4 weeks is too overwhelming, bring it back. This is what I'm going to do the next 3 weeks. Whatever you need to do, because that's something that Aloha and I would talk about all the time. We talked about sustainability and how our life is going to look after this program. We knew that the things that we learned in this program, it's going to have to carry us throughout life. So you can't get overwhelmed. You cannot, because you're going to set yourself up, I think, for failure. So as I was doing this, I was like, these are things I'm going to be doing for life. I have to, since I've now had a history of hypertension. Guess what? I keep, even today, when I put my lunchbox, what's in my lunchbox? My blood pressure cup.
Okay, come on.
My blood. I mean, this is just what you're going to. It's just, you have to know, Pops. You would always say that too. How you gonna know if you're not checking?
Okay,
you have to know. And so for me, and we decided, and even she and her husband, if this is going to be our life, there are things we need to know. We need to know what our blood sugar is, even if you're not checking all the time. You need to know that. I need to know what my blood pressure is, especially as I'm introducing certain foods back in. I need to know, can I introduce that? Some things I'll need to eat. Although I didn't have a lot of issues with blood sugar, I did notice certain vegetables would spike it a little bit. I personally have to watch tomatoes. You may not have to, but I do. How else would you know that? So going forward, that's something you have to be mindful for. So you tell me you weren't ready. You All
ready
that
to
to
have your
say,
own class.
y'all hush, y'all crazy.
You talking about you weren't ready, and so that, but that's encouraging. So for people that are watching, like people ask me, like Rochelle, like what about after the program? Like I'm like, I promise you, you're going to be learning so much. You're going to be taking it all in, even like subliminally. It's you hear it every day, and now we have health coaching calls, on Sundays, and so all these people are learning there. And I said, trust me, you go through this program, you're going to know some things. You're going to know some things.
Yeah.
You're going to know some
Send me a
things.
link, Rochelle. Send me a link so I can sign up. Send me a link so I can sign up. She got me fired up. Send me the link.
Send that link. Send me that link. Send that link.
Oh man, listen, this has been great. Thank you so much, Lyrica. And like for those that are watching, remember type come through Jill Scott and just give her some roses here. Just congratulate her on a job well done.
Amen.
Job well done. And kudos to your husband too, because I remember he got on the very first call we did, very supportive from day one. And he was like, what can she eat? What can okay, I got it. Okay. Exercise. Okay, I got that too. I remember. Very supportive. And that's important. That's important as well. It helps a lot because it's not that's not always the case, but that's very helpful to anyone who has the spousal support. So kudos to him as well. So yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I got.
I'm excited.
This was good.
This was great, Lyrica. Thank you so much
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, that is it. Listen, you see the ticker, ticker scrolling across, screenshot that, get on the calendar, and let's talk about it. If you're dealing with any type of issues, if you just want to feel better, let's talk about it. Okay, sugar ain't sweet. Okay, and guess what? It ain't free either. Okay, sugar ain't sweet and it ain't free. All right. So this is it. This is another episode of Mindset Talks with a special guest, Lyrica Jones, and we're just excited for you and your entire family, because what you have done is you just changed the trajectory of your family's health. So not just yours, your whole family's health, because you as the nutrition gatekeeper of your home. Okay.
That's right.
Right. So that's what you've done. So kudos to you. And that is it, guys. I am Rochelle T. Parks. I am your health motivator. And guess what? Whether you like it or not, I do not care. I can, I will, and I must continue to walk alongside you and help you to achieve optimal health. We out. Peace. Hey guys, hey, what's going on? Hey, it's me again. Before you go, real quick, I just want to remind you, I do the fruit and veggie challenge the first 7 days of every month. Listen, we just finished one. Fire. People are saying they lost 7 pounds, 8 pounds, 9 pounds. The average person loses at least a pound a day. So you're talking at least 7 pounds lost, guys. But I mean, I'm always amazed. I'm always amazed at what can happen in just 7 days. So you know what? I want you to join me next time. Okay. So go ahead, click the link and join me on the next one. Come on. Let's go.